All right, another day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Tuesday Newsday. Tips, tackle, tactics, tantrums, and throw your toys out the pram on a Tuesday. All the latest and greatest angling news over this past week, probably before, maybe some futuristic news to come. Who knows? That's the beauty of Tuesday Newsday. You actually never know what's going to get said on here. One of you will, though, because one of you have sent in something very, very disturbing. But we'll get on to that in a minute. And yeah, not nice at all. Bit chilly up here today in the old tackle loft room, fishing room. There we go. I'm in. Quite an eventful couple of weeks. I think you've all seen videos of the absolute mountain of tackle that I've been getting. Not a tackle collector of any sort, but I've just randomly struck lucky. A friend of mine at Outerbridge, he had a pole, went and picked it up. It turns out he had lots of poles, so I've got lots of those that I've gone through. They're going to be given away on the channel. And then a friend of mine, Hook Lengths Tied on Facebook, got in touch and said, "Oh, I've got some spare sections if you want them." And I thought, you know what? Yeah, even if someone's got like 10 old sections, if there's one or two decent ones I can make a bodge pole with, you know, and put one together, it'll be worth it. I got there and literally filled the car up with ridiculous stuff, and seat boxes as well. They was in there as well. So yes, massive thank you for them. But if you've not seen those already, go back to the videos and check those out. Anyway, this is not a tackle discussion. This is the news. So this week on the news, I want to talk to you a little bit about what's getting me. What's getting me? What is that? So every week I touch on different areas of the angling world and kind of just bring it to you in real time. This week I want to kick it off with something really bad, right? And I'm gonna blur out the bad bit because I don't want this video to be demonetized. I also want you guys to be able to see some of it, and I also don't want to post none of it. But this right here is a clip from somebody off Facebook, anonymously got in touch with me and said, well, they didn't, they just sent me the link and then they gave me a bit of a write-up about it. But watch this. There's no real major sound to it. So that there is a big pike. Looks like it's been caught, it's been captured. There's a chap there fishing, no top on. This is only recently as well. He's got no top on. Must be freezing. Oh, everyone else is wrapped up. Other side of this dock. I'll blur that bit. Ready? I want to blur it now. That is a relatively big pike. It's still alive. You can see it flapping in net then. And I think at that point, it's now dead because that other boy has just struck it as well. Not quite sure what they're trying to do. He's trying to scoop it into a bag. He could just pick it up. The kid's got a net. One of the other kids has got a fishing rod. And I did spot it briefly. There he goes again. Kicks it. It's properly disturbing. And then he kicks it. There's some tackle somewhere because that fish was attached to a lure in that net. That's why it was stuck. The lure, I believe, is still tangled up in that net. And now he's trying to get it out of here back. It's on a Facebook page called Chester Together. So the chap sent me the link for it and it was shared by a tackle shop. I'm going to name the tackle shop. They haven't filmed it. They've just shared the post again, saying how disrespectful it is and unnecessary it is. The Tackle Store. If any of you know it, the Tackle Store, I've had a quick look on their profile. Always got fresh maggots coming in. Doing a bit of a scoring system with fish captures. A bit of a tour of their shop, loads of leads and feeders and stuff. So it's yeah, it's worth giving them a mention because, you know, I'm a big supporter of tackle shops. But that there, very disturbing scenes. I'm not going to show you any more than that. But if you want to see the full video, go on Facebook onto that group and have a look. I'll probably share it in a bit. If you want to just search me on Facebook and you'll just see it. Everything I post public. Right, bottom line is, Me and my partner, we've got kids. Most of them are hers. I'm not their father, believe it or not. But we do have a little boy, Shady. I'm his dad. Now, next door, Gary, he's got kids. If I saw Gary's kids doing that outside of a fishery somewhere, oh my God, police would be on the way and they'd be locked up. Properly locked up. Ain't no way that I'd settle for that. I'd video it. I'd post it every day for 6 months. If it were his kids next door, I really would. I don't care. I'm not bothered. If it was my own child, I'd have filmed it and I'd have posted it every day for the next 12 months. And he wouldn't be allowed anywhere near a tackle shop. He wouldn't be allowed anywhere near a fishing lake, or I would not condone him going near the family dog or her. I would not do it. If you think it's acceptable to go and take a fish from its natural or an animal, let's just, because it's the Animal Welfare Act. Yeah, is it 2007? Mistreatment of animals. Yeah, you bring harm to an animal in any way, shape, or form, you're sick in the head. Yeah, and statistics show that most murderers have at some point been involved in or arrested, charged, convicted of animal abuse. It starts off with animals, yeah, or babies, young kids, and then as they get older, they tend to start and murder other people. And that's a really dark part of this video that I'm not going to touch on too much. However, if it was my own child, I would humiliate him. I would absolutely humiliate him. I wouldn't quit what I do here. If fishing was my day job like it is now, and I found a video of my lad doing that, I wouldn't try and hide it. Oh no, no way. I'd repost the video. I honestly, because that's how serious I take it. It really is. Whatever authorities end up doing, that's what they end up doing. It don't matter if you're a 10-year-old, a 20-year-old, or you're in your 50s. You deserve everything that gets thrown at you for that. The worst part is, kids nowadays, they haven't really got many previous historic convictions or cautions or anything like that. So they end up doing something really bad like this, and they technically get away with it. It'll go down on the record, but nothing happens because it's normally a first offence. But that fish in that video is a relatively big fish. It's probably low teens, mid-teens. It's a nice fish. One of them's got a net. Looks like a type of net you'd take with you spinning, going piking. So one of them has had the intentions at some point of catching fish. That fish is alive at some point, and then I think it's dead later on in the video. Whoever those kids are, get them found, get them named, get the pictures up in every tackle shop. Kids like that have been in your local tackle shop. Chester, Chester Canal Basin. I don't know what canal. Leeds and Liverpool or whatever. No, not the Leeds and Liverpool, will it? So, get those kids, if you know the names of those kids, if you're the mother of one of them, if you're the father of one of them, don't try and hide. Don't go to school for a few weeks. You know, they'll say you're poorly for a bit. Get your hair cut. We'll get you a different jacket. Start going out with some different mates for a bit. Because if someone... No, don't try and bury that. If your kid's done that, or you know of whose child that is, get them named. Who cares about the repercussions? That's exactly why they do what they do today. It's because they don't get punished for anything anymore. So, yeah, humiliate them in any way, shape or form for doing that, if you know who they are. Very disturbing video. I want to brush off that quite swiftly. But that is tragic. As if, in recent years, seeing the amount of dead fish all over the place, from natural disaster to reservoir neglect and just flushing them all out into woods, that we need to be seeing, let's face it, anglers, they had fishing tackle, anglers getting a pike out of its home, where it lives, where it's secure, where it's safe, and it's a predator as well. Probably one of the safest and most relaxed fish in fresh water, a pike. Hasn't really got much troubles, has it? And a couple of little humans drag it out into an atmosphere where it can't breathe and kick it all over concrete floor until it's dead. No. So, if you know the kids in that video, in that clip, name them, shame them. If you don't know the names, but you know they're coming to your tackle shop, ban them. if you're the bailiff for that particular water or any surrounding lakes or fisheries or anything like that, get a picture of those kids the best you can and ban them. Not for 5 years or 10 years. They want banning for life. Humiliate them, because it's kids like that. If they do that, they've done it before. Yeah. So when they get to your fishery, they won't see any harm in kicking a £20 carp out bank, and they'll find it weird and a bit alien why you're shouting at them saying they can't do that, because they've got away with it so long and there's no repercussions. Ban them. Ban them. Every shop, every fishery, get them banned. I don't know you kids, and if any of you ever do see this video and secretly in your head you sat there thinking, God, that's me kicking that fish, or that's me in that video, yes, 100%. You get caught doing something like that at somebody's syndicate, private fishery, or a day ticket water, and you get a couple of anglers either side who see you do it, oh my God, will a bit of humiliation be the least of your worries? Like, it wouldn't be uncommon for someone to come and give you some fist. That is absolutely ridiculous. So if you know them kids, or you've seen that video, when you share the hell out of it. I'm going to be sharing crap out of it in a bit. I'll put it on my TikTok. It was on here. I'll put it on YouTube Shorts in a bit as well. And yeah, very, very disturbing. I'll share it all over Facebook. So, out of fishing, go find something else. We ain't got a place here for you. Ban them from every shop. Get them banned. Every fishery, every shop, ban them. Even if you know them and they're lovely kids, they're little princes. No, ban them. Have them done. Get rid of them. There's a video circulating on Facebook, and I've not got a bait sponsor anymore. That come to an end last year, I think it were, year before. And I've been approached by a few people, not massive bait companies, but I've been approached by a few people that have got their own bait firm, if you will. And I've not turned it down, but I've said that it wouldn't benefit me at the minute having a bait sponsor. However, I want to highlight something called Fuka baits. I have actually got some downstairs, and I've had it since the day it hit the shops because I wanted to get it and try it. And I still sometimes take kids and, like, in fact, it sits in the back of one of the cars I've got. And if we're ever out somewhere and with no time for maggots or bread, I can quickly just chuck a Fuka on. But if you go on Catch More Media's page, I think Fuka have shared it as well, but Catch More Media's page, you'll actually see Tom, Dave Preston, and I don't know if it's Jordan or I can't remember who it were. It might be a different angler. Different angler. He's sat down bank and he's fishing long pole, down margin to the left, probably next peg or next peg or two, about 11 metre. And he's fishing down edge. This was yesterday, day before. That's how recent it is. So it's cold, right? The Glebe fishery at Leicester, a lovely place, and he's fishing down edge on pole. I'll put it on screen now. And this is the new, like, Fuka bait enhancer trigger. I can't remember the name for it, but it's the Dave Preston prototype stuff, and he's sort of laced some corn with it. Chucked a few pieces of corn in, and if you watch the video, you like to see them, but the fish actually home in on the swim. The margin, it's about 1.5 feet deep. It's not deep at all. You can see it rig. You can actually see the angler's hook bait fall through water as he puts his rig in, and you can actually see it come to rest on bottom. It's February now, beginning of Feb, but this could have been end of Jan. It's freezing cold. Winter doesn't start until March, properly, until it gets really cold. So, I was like, in edge. Anyway, he's hooking carp, glebe carp as well, and he's hooking them and they're swimming off. As they're pulling out the swim, these carp on pole, the rest of carp are just still there feeding away on this food stuff. Now, this is not a paid promotion. I've got none up here. This is not a paid promotion. I've not spoke to Dave Preston or Tom or anyone. No one's going to touch me about it. It's just what I've seen on the old face tubes. And I want to know your views on it. I'd like to get my hands on some of this stuff because of different variety of fishing I do. I'm a bit of an all-round now, not a match angler as such anymore. But I'd like to get your views on it. You've got to remember, David Preston is Preston Innovations. That's where it come from. That's him, Preston. So when you've got that mindset, you know, when he sits at home and he's getting a bit bored, what shall I do? you know what, might make a bait company. You know it's not going to be a bad idea. You know pretty much straight away that it's probably going to be good. When David turns around and says, oh, I'm going to make a sandwich, do you want one? You can't, even if you're full and you can't fit no more food in, you can't say no, because it's probably going to be the greatest sandwich you've ever eaten. And it's probably going to be something so simple and basic as well, like sliced cheese. And it'll probably be 2 slices of bread that have not even been cut into triangles. It'll be just like a Simpsons sandwich. But it'll be the nicest sandwich you've ever eaten in your life. And I don't know how or why, but that guy's got that brain avenue that none of us can sort of squeeze down. He can get down it absolutely no problem, and it works. So I think at some point I'm going to try and buy some of this prototype stuff, this powder. It's like a covering, you put it on your corn or put it on your maggots. It's incredible, and it proper adheres to it, and it's a great attractor and an appetite enhancer. The fish home in on it. And I've watched him feed him when he's put some on surface before. And at no point is bear in mind, you can go anywhere and do this, right? I used to go and chuck bread on a local pond and watch the fish come up. And the Revolution Baits Brazilian Yellow Enhancer dye, I put some of that on a piece of bread and chucked it out. And I must have been stood there for about 2 hours. And I was trying different pieces of bread in different locations. The fish were nailing all of it. But the pieces of bread with the enhancer on, the fish were destroying it. They were going absolutely crazy for it. They were like going into a proper frenzy. So I want to know your views. Is Fuka Baits something that you've got on your radar? Do you think it's a load of naff? I've seen comments, but normally comments like that, people have probably never tried it, or they've never given it the time or the right, it's never been, what can we say? What's some good words? It's never been, I don't know, they've not pushed it to its full potential. Yeah. So, like a winter tyre on a car, it's just a tyre. Yet, you put 4 winters on your car in snow and 4 standard all-season tyres, there's a massive difference, there really is. And I think until you start and put something like that into its targeted approach environment, you're not going to know. And if it don't work for you on first try, you can't turn around and say, oh, £8 for a tub. And I don't know how much it is, by the way. It don't even work. I've not had anything on it today, but it'd be a day and a peg and a time of year and a temperature and a swim that you would have blanked on anyway. So what's your views on Fuka Baits? Get in comments, talk away. I don't mind if you slag it, if you slag it off. I don't mind if you're really positive about it. I'm not afraid to turn around and say that those Fuka 2-in-1s, like I saw David Preston, it were pulling them off. I think I got a pack of white, red and yellow. I got one of each on the day they hit the shops. I went and got them, right? I never knew how long they were going to last. I've still got them today. Still got them. They open every now and again. I've got a little travel kit in car and I'll take kids to a pond up here. And you can roll them. It's a bit like plasticine. You can roll them into maggot shapes and you can roll it into a ball. They are like pellet shaped, if you will. Really versatile bait. And they smell great. It's that, I don't know what it is. Is that Japanese or something? Some sort of Japanese, sensate stuff. David Preston's proper into his sensate, isn't he? But get in comments. Have you used it? Do you use it? Have you used it and you'll never do it again? Do you swear by it? Get in comments, talk away. Look at the names that are under the brand as well, yeah? It takes a lot nowadays for anglers, whether it be me or you or your Andy Ringers and your Steve Bennetts. It takes a lot nowadays for a sponsorship to be worth something to somebody. And whether it be like a paid deal or we'll look after you every month with lots of stuff, sometimes people really do shake the hand of a sponsorship deal because it really is incredible stuff. It really is. Like Revolution Baits. I'm no longer with Revolution Baits. They're not really in function anymore. However, there is somebody out there with recipes for this stuff. That is the Brazilian Yellow Enhancer dye. That stuff. I used to have people messaging Emma Pickering saying, seen this video, can you send me some? And she'd be like, of course I can. and they'd be in Spain, or they'd be in Netherlands, or they'd be somewhere. But people were going absolutely mental for that. And it weren't a sales clinch. I didn't get paid anything to say that. It really does work. If you can get your hands on some of this stuff, get it. And I'm not sure what's happening with brand anymore, but that stuff is absolutely incredible. So it really, really does work. There's other options. There was a Brazilian yellow. There was a something green. I've got them all in shed, and a red one. But this stuff is absolutely immense. I'd do 10 chucks with a feeder, and I'd wait until I caught 10 fish. Yeah, on method. After those 10 chucks, I'd then pick a completely different swim. I'd spray my feeder with this, and I guarantee I'd have 10 fish quicker. I'd get more responsive bites. They'd be more violent on take, so I'd know that my fish are like really feeding hard on it. And then I'd go a different day, and I'd go a different peg on a different lake, and I'd do it again. I'd pick 2 or 3 swims. I'd fish one as normal, Brazilian on other. Honestly, this stuff is incredible. So the Fuka stuff, I'm not getting paid to talk about it. I've not spoke to any of them. They probably have no idea this channel exists. Talk away. I think probably be a good idea to get some and see what it's like. You know me, if it don't work, I will happily say so. But I'm not an angler that's going to take it out for a couple of sessions and then say it don't work. No, because you could land on same conditions 2, 3, 4 days on trot, couldn't you? And it's been developed around what anglers have requested, so we'll have to watch a few videos, get some, probably go and target a day's fishing similar to what they've had. Just kick off the session until it gets very busy catching, and then introduce some of this Fuka and see if it really does make a difference. I'm confident. I reckon it will. But I want your opinion. What's your opinion on Fuka baits? Get in comments, talk away, let me know. A negative comment's never a negative one, and a positive one can only help us, I don't know, make a decision later on. So yeah, talk away. But that stuff, if any on you ever get some of that, wow, I've got loads of it downstairs for that very reason. You never know where people are going to go in life. You never know what's going to happen. So I ended up getting a bunch of them. So if I ever see you on bank and I've got one, I'll give you one. So yeah, Fuka baits, talk away, get in comments. The comment section is yours. What would you like to see happen with Fuka baits? It's currently 10:20 in the morning right now as I'm talking to you. At 1 PM today, Preston Innovations, just on back of Preston, they're going to be chucking on a couple of things for this year's product launch. There's been a few questions about Des Ship's seat box. There's been a few questions about, like the SL30 I picked up the other day, the Superlight. There's been a few questions about the new version of that, the Superlight version of it. There's quite a few things. So, you will have already seen it by the time this goes on. This will go on at 5, 6 o'clock tonight. It is Tuesday, by the way. I always film this on a Tuesday. If I did it on a Monday or a Sunday and left it for, if anything juicy came up on news, I wouldn't be able to slip it back in. I'd have to do it all over again. So, yes. Let us know some. I'm a bit of a Preston guy. I know you all know this. Preston, well, I've got everything. Every brand. But Preston are, I don't know, they've always been my go-to. I think we've all got that one brand. Even though we all might have many different ones amongst us kit, we've all got that one brand that we really do put some trust in. But yes, product launch. It's gone out today at 1 PM. Let me know what you think of all the stuff that's on there. And should we get some of it for the channel? Do you want to see some of it on? I don't really like to use my pro gear anymore because it's, well, one, it's just sitting about doing nothing and it's just a waste of money. But two, I think I get a better response from you guys when it comes to, I don't know, using other stuff. Let's give a tackle shop a shout out. Who's this? Mill Tackle? Is that near me, Mill Tackle? Mill Tackle. Where's Mill Tackle? Our 1,700 square foot shop currently sells a wide range of products from top tackle companies including Press Innovations, Drennan Matrix and other brands. Oh, Hina. So yeah, down in Derby. Well, Ripley. Hina. So, Mill Tackle in Hina, Derby. This is their profile on Facebook. If you have a quick flick through. Sales, this is 13th of Jan. Drennan Acolyte 10-foot ultra feeder rod. Retail price, 229 quid. Price in the shop only. Only 3 left, first come, first served. So, if you're good at shop, you might get a decent deal on one of them. Preston Edge Monster, this is 8th of Jan. Edge Monster top kits fitted with roller pullers. 40 quid, 4 left in stock. They might have gone by now. But, Mill Tackle in Hena. Get yourself down to Mill Tackle, support your local tackle shop. And, yeah, why not? Right, on the back of me talking about supporting your local tackle shops and all that stuff, and staying away from these firms where you have to gamble your money to see if you've won a prize, right? You don't know if you've won a prize until the draw, and you get told you've either won something or you've not, and you can pay as much as you like every week, and you're not guaranteed to get anything. It's a bit of a weird setup. I don't know why they won't just... If you pay for a ticket to gamble for some products, I don't know why they'd give you something anyway, because they're taking your money and it's gone. You're not getting anything. Aston Park are doing it. Oh, I already know of a few others that have got in touch. I'm not going to talk about them yet. I'm going to wait until they announce it. But a few others have got in touch with me saying that they're going to start doing it soon. Raffle-based, purchase-based raffle. So you go in, you buy some bait, and you spend over a tenner, and you get a raffle ticket, and it's free entry. The tackle shop then supports you getting some prizes because of your customer, your purchase. You've been supporting them. That way you see more people going into tackle shops, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's happy. No one leaves empty-handed, unlike these online firms where they just take the money and, well, majority of the time you get nothing because there's only a small selection of people that win it, and what they win is either your money that you've given them, which just blows my mind. I know the lottery, it's same, it's different. It's like £1, yeah, once a week. Do what you want. A national lottery, 68 million quid. There's a bit of a difference, right? But companies where you just give them your money and they give you nothing back, but they've got the stock there. It's crazy. Anyway, I've started doing a little bit of prize entries myself on Facebook, where you see companies like, share, comment 2 people on this post for your chance to win a bait bundle or a rod or something. And I see people winning all the time, and I always stay away from it because of who I am and what I've got. And I thought to myself, no, because let's say I did win something, like some bait, I could go and use it on my channel. I've not got a bait sponsor. If I have a good day's fishing week, I can promote it, and it's just another. It's just what can that company get from giving it me? Someone else could win it. They could go and use it and do a thank you post. Oh, it's great, it's wicked. I could go and do 10 videos with it, couldn't I? And it's a bit, promoting. If it's really bad, I'd probably say don't waste your money. Get something else. Constructive criticism, yeah, instead of just being negative. Remember, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Anyway, other day, I'm scrolling through Facebook. I got tagged in a post, but I didn't even get the notification. I was just scrolling. And Fever Tackle, the new kids on the block, they wrote a post about a landing net handle. Here it is. And, yeah, tagged me in a post. I was the winner of the landing net handle, and they'd done a bit of a write-up, and I literally wouldn't have seen it if I hadn't been scrolling. I don't know why, but I don't always get notifications on the notification thing on Facebook. Anyway, that landing net handle, 4 meters. 4 meters. I think I've got one up here. I've got 2 here. What are these? That's a 4 meter. It's got to be a 3 or a 2 or a 2.5 or something. Oh, it is a 3 meter. They're Maver. Not my first choice of brand by any means, but they take apart poles. So if I'm ever going stalking down a little river, I can take a little bit of a section with me, or they come with a tackle bundle not long back. I could go and put them to use feeder fishing. Anyway, this Fever one, it's 4 meters long and it only weighs 300 grams. 300 grams. I've not received it yet. They've told me to get in touch with them, sending me details, so they're going to send it to this house instead of one where this is still a bit of a building site. So they're going to send me that. So expect to see that on channel. Anyway, I started going through all their other products on their website, and they've got loads of stuff. They have got an absolute massive menu of stuff available on their website. Fever Fishing. If you go on their website, you've got a product search box, you've got everything. So rods, reels, poles, and I think this is all. Look, they're rods, so there's no reels there yet. But I think what they've done is they've got all their website up and running, ready for when it comes to having these things in. So a lot to expect from Fever. Here's the nets and the landing net handles. So 18-inch Silver's F1 spoon. Got a 2 metre telescopic landing net handle there for 15 quid. Fever 22 carp commercial, so a bigger net, bit deeper. Fever carp lifter, so that's the net. It's got like a handle built into the bottom, so it's, you know, a bit more comfortable picking them up, a bit safer. We've got another landing net handle there, which is a 3 metre. It's a telescopic handle, which is 20 quid. Keep nets, look at them things. 70 quid, but it is a proper good keep net. 2 metres long, and then the landing net handle I've won, which is that one there. Retail price is 75 quid. Weighs just 300 grams. And it is an absolutely stunning bit of kit. Lovely piece of carbon. Can't wait to use it, but even more so, get onto the Fever website. I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. I know they've brought some bits and bobs out, but I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. So get onto the Fever website and get yourself some budget-friendly, and it's brand new, budget-friendly priced. It's like very wallet-friendly stuff. Get yourself some tackle ordered. And, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself a landing net head ordered, and I'll use the net and the head in a future video at some point. And I'm going to keep the handle, but eventually might do a bit of a giveaway with it for you and let one of you guys have it. Who knows? But it's really nice of Fever, so thank you very much. And everybody who's entered, it just goes to show that you can. I never enter these things, right? That one at first, but the other day I thought, you know, I'm going to start entering these. And I put me answer in, and I got picked. So it just goes to show that anyone can win these things. It's not cost me anything. I'm not had to buy a ticket. This is just a company supporting their customers, and, you know, just this is a bit of a promotion for them. So yeah, massive well done, Fever, and thank you very much. I'm looking forward to receiving it and using it. Now, other news, water quality, whether it be rivers, lakes, canals, commercials, heavily fed waters, or big natural venues that suffer from, I don't know, lots of different sort of weed species and just overwhelming lacks of oxygen through, well, the warmer months, and we do have water quality / clarity issues in winter, don't we? Well, I'm going to put this picture on screen now. This is a new device, which is listed as a game-changing new technology, could be set to revolutionise not only fishery management, but water quality control on Britain's rivers and lakes. The RA-based system has been developed by partnership of UK scientists, initially to address the issue of spiralling oxygen crashes at fisheries due to increasingly extreme weather conditions. So yeah, this is going to be like a new device, which I think it's been chucked together for a, you know, I don't think it's a big money-making venture. I think it's someone who's like just sick to death of oxygen crashes, water clarity issues, fisheries suffering, because as much as it's bad for the fish, it's bad for the fishery, you know, golfers can have water clarity, you know, of an oil spill, and they can still play golf on the grass. Angling, it's a bit difficult because we kind of need the water in order for us to, you know, target our sport. So, yeah, it's, there's a bit of a write-up here. It's created by innovation consultancy Parallax and aquatic tech business Remote Automation. The system is, I don't know who wrote this, the system is packed into an easy-to-install box that's ready to go the moment it's plugged in. While unobtrusive from the outside, the RA-based system is loaded with technology that can monitor and predict not only water quality levels, but also external factors such as the wind direction, temperature, and air pressure. So it's kind of doing all the work for you. Imagine you've got a fishery. You just get this device and plug it in. It's kind of going to do all the thinking for you. It's going to do all the work for you. It's going to monitor, it's going to know. So it's like a second brain, and it's always water's edge for you. It's always out there. So should the temperature rise quite a lot and air pressure drop and it becomes very dry, they'll kick in. If the water clarity is really, I don't know, if it's clear, it might need adjusting. It might need setting. It might need dynoing in, if you will. So yes, look out for that little innovation coming soon. It looks incredible. We've seen over the last couple of years lots of different clips from people. There was one chap last year on 7 somewhere, can't remember where, and he's sat fishing and he's on his box. Next minute, a massive influx of water comes from behind him, flushes into the river, takes his old all, takes his carry-all, loses loads of kit, manages to get his stuff, and it's a sewage outlet just hidden in the bank behind him. Can't see it. And it's all the sewage just come out, nappies, sanitary pads, you name it, everything, crap, just flushed all under his box and everything. So you got to remember that if there's areas of the river systems we can get those in, like weirs, you've got to be careful on rivers, because when they fluctuate, you don't want to be losing expensive kit down them. But they can help. There's some areas at river that are so big and dense and wide, they have flowing water going through them, but you'd think it's a still water. So, this could be a game-changing product. So, look out for that. It says here, Nick Butterfield, the founder of Remote Automation, started work on the system back in 2018. He's the fishery manager at the largest club in Cumbria, Windermere, Ambleside and District Angling Association, and knew something had to change following a catastrophic fish kill. Yeah, so this guy, I think he's partnered up with, is it Parallax? And he's sort of said, this is what's happening. I've got the evidence. I've got this. I've got that. And it's happening everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. Let's make something happen. And, it's all on, it's all in the making. I found it embarrassing. We were totally unprepared and didn't know the science behind it. I made a pledge to learn more, and from there embarked on a journey to create a system that would allow us to avoid scenes of such devastation. So, incredible. I'm looking forward to more of that. Hopefully more pictures and stuff will come out soon. And, in a time where we need to look after this sport as much as possible, we also need to be looking after our fish stocks, don't we? And sometimes, no matter what we do, the human hands just cannot repair or prepare you for the worst. Some things can happen. Like if you go back through my videos, you'll see, not the Harthill Res one, because that was a human error. The Hardwick Hall, the big lake at Hardwick, big fish kill. In fact, not the big lake, the one next to it where you used to be able to fish. Big fish kill on there last year. Just no oxygen. Just been so hot for a long time. They got rid of the fishing club. So you've got no eyes on it no more. You've got no one walking around it, potentially highlighting issues. That's how important angling is to have on these fisheries. So, hopefully this could save a lot of fisheries. It might also mean that some nature reserves get their hands on it and give people even more of a reason not to reinstate fishing. So, lots of good points, lots of really positive points, something that quite excites me, something like that. So, yes, interesting. Look out for something like that. In a few years' time, you might have one in action on a lake near you. And who knows, maybe one day it'll just be very normal. Like everyone's got aerators nowadays, especially commercials, but something like this, it could do the work for you. Yeah, game changer. Next point I want to touch on is banning of baits. I understand a lot of baits. A large influx of certain baits can be quite overwhelming. When I used to match fish years ago, it used to be popular down at the Glebe in Leicester to take 7 tins of corn with you. I used to know people that would feed 5 tins of corn as soon as match started down at Edges, right? And people used to take a crate of corn, like a 12 pack from supermarket. That's how popular feeding lots of corn were back, I don't know about back then, 2013, 2012. But were really popular it was really common talk. If you go into Glebe, you need 10 tins of corn. Because there were so many fish, they absolutely loved it, and it's just one of the baits they used to get fed on quite a lot, so they used to love it. Corn, not a massive fat content bait. It's not got a lot of like nasty oils and acids in it, and it don't have a slow break. It's a seed, and fish will, it can sit in water for ages. It comes in the stuff. It can sit in water for ages and preserve and keep its nutrients and, its flavours, so fish will eventually eat it. Whether it be carp, skimmers, I've caught roach, I've caught gudgeon on sweet corn, so, yeah. But the banning of certain baits, a bit extreme. However, luncheon meat, or just meat, they just list it as meat now, because spam and all your other different ones that have got a lot less fat content in them, they, chopping up a tin of luncheon meat, oh, it's just a tin of spam, mate. How are you going to police that? So what do? You just ban meat. No more meat. And last year in particular, well, over years, but last year in particular, I think I saw more posts on Facebook and social media of fisheries banning meat, with maybe talks of it coming back one day. But for now, they're going to ban it simply because that does have an impact on the water quality. Leaving lots of meat in a lake, especially at end of match when you've got a tin and a half cut up and you just chuck it in. Yeah, fish, they've nailed it all day, but it doesn't mean that what you chuck in, they're still going to be hungry and eat. You have 20 anglers on one lake doing that 3 times a week, as well as your pleasure anglers, and meat is great. I've caught loads of fish on meat. I've won lots of matches on meat when I was younger. At Aston, used to be a great bait at Aston meat. But yeah, fisheries are slowly, it just seems that more and more seem to be banning meat. I'd list them, but there'll be a bunch of fisheries out there that have banned it, that have not said it publicly. They've just got a note up in their shop. So, yeah, what's your views on banning meat? Do you like using it? Do you fish with it a lot? Like same with cat meat days. Our in that era when cat meat were just being filtered out, because that's got a high content of lots of stuff you don't want in a lake for a long time, left alone. But cat meat used to be an incredible bait. Tinned meatballs. I don't even remember tinned meatballs. There were one particular brand that were very nice to eat cold. Because when me and my mates used to go fishing, we used to take a few tins of meatballs because they were like 9 pence for a tin of meatballs. Not back then. Tinned meatballs nowadays, you still pay 18 pence for a tin of meatballs. And they're really nice. The ones in gravy are, oh, bliss. So, meatballs and I tell you what, I know what I'm having today now. And you used to be able to get some cat meat tins, and it would look just like a tin of meatballs, some of them. The ones in jelly, the cat meat in jelly, I had to be careful on. But the cat meat in gravy, they were probably your safest option for fishing. But the ones in jelly, I think even back then they tried to talk you out to not using jelly. But the meatballs, yeah, they were a great option. But it's just a meat thing. There's a lot of natural fats in meats that do have a long breakdown process. And your fish, even when they devour it, absolutely nail it, it's not a common natural food source for a fish. That much fat going through a fish's system on a regular basis, you could see clogging up a fish in whatever health issues you imagine. They've got a similar sort of thing to us, yeah? Things will start clogging up and arteries will start closing, and when we do it. So you think of a fish's body and its internal system and how narrow it is and delicate. You start putting big high fat content baits through fish like that on a regular, you'll have a bad impact on water clarity and quality. It does have a really negative effect. And then you've got your fish. They will suffer, and they have done, and that's why a lot of these bans have come into play. So what's your views on it? How could we limit feeding meat? Or is there a better alternative like corn? Not sweet corn, like corn. The fake meat, it's not really meat, but I don't understand how. You ever had them corn chicken sausages? They taste more like chicken than chicken does. They are incredible. And there's nothing about them. Sometimes when you try, remember when vegan sausage rolls came out at Greggs and everyone were like, tastes no different. I was like, nah. I went and had one, and they are incredible. Really, and I think they're a little bit cheaper as well. Absolutely incredible. And corn, it's the same. But does corn still fall into meat? Because apparently it's like zero meat content. Could you use corn? Corn with a Q. Could you use it and get away with it? Would your fishery mind it? Talk away. Happy to read through a few comments about that to see if that could be an option. But I don't know. Do you think your local fishery is going to ban meat? Are they on the verge of doing it? Has it banned it already? What's your views? What do you think? And yeah, talk away. It is a touchy subject because it's a very popular bait for match fishing, especially if it's fishery feed pellets only and people like to fish pellets, corn and maggots. You get an outsider turn up with a couple of tins of meat and they normally end up doing quite well because it's not a bait that gets fed or, used a lot. So, yeah, what's your views? Talk away. Get in the old comment section. I'd like to hear a few different, yeah, they should ban it. No, they shouldn't. I'm not bothered. I'd like to see a few different ones of those. So, yeah, talk away. Meat, should it be banned? And, is it being banned already at your place? Rod licenses. Now, I've not got mine on me. It's in my wallet. But I take it everywhere with me and never go without one. You've got to have a rod license. We've touched on it before. If you've not got one, just accept a fine. Please don't fight the bailiff. But the Environment Agency has revealed that it generated £24.15 million from rod licence sales in the year to April 2025. The highest figure since lockdown and the second highest this century. 24 million quid. It's made from rod licence sales, and that's from people purchasing a rod licence for a day, for a week, you can get one for a month, or paying it for a year. Yeah, so when you think to yourself, people don't go fishing and buy a rod licence for a year, they'll go fishing a couple of times. They might end up overspending, and they'll never buy an annual rod licence, but they'll pay for a couple of weekly or for a couple of monthly ones. So, it's each to their own. I used to be that kid. I used to go to my local fishery. I used to have a day ticket every time. And they used to say, become a member, it's cheaper. But when I was a kid, I didn't have the 25 quid to become a member. I only had my £2.50 at a time. So eventually they'd make more money out of me. I was the perfect customer. So, yes, it's not just the annual sales. It's just rod licensing in general. The upturn has been attributed to an incremental increase in the cost of a licence, plus a rise in sales for the second year in a row. The EA also received a £1.45 million grant from central government. Enforcement was a key area in which the money was used, with 60,320 licences checked and 769 successful prosecutions made. So, you'll get a fine under £1,000 if you've not got a licence, but most of the time you see a fine for not having a rod licence fishing in UK waters, it's £1,000. Yeah? So let's knock it right down to 100 quid. Yeah? You get 10,000 people without a rod licence, which the figure on here was 60,320 people were checked and 769 successful prosecutions made. Well, 60,220 checks, that's a very small number compared to £24 million worth of rod licences being sold. There's a massive number there. So you take 1,000 people that have been caught without a rod licence. In fact, no, you take 100 people that have been caught without a rod licence. 100 people times 1,000, that's 100 grand. Yeah? But let's say it's £100 fine every time you get caught. Well, that's mental money still. And it all adds up. And the figure is a lot bigger than that. So 24 million quid was the income from us anglers to the Environment Agency for our licenses, whether it be annual or whatever, just licenses in general. 60,000, just over 60,000 checks were made and lots of prosecutions. So not only are they getting the license income money from us, all the prosecutions after all the court costs and everything have come out and it's all been ironed out, there's still going to be some money going back into the pot from those people as well. And you'll get the odd one or two that think, right, they've been caught without a license, they have to pay the price, but it wouldn't have been deliberate. You'll get some people that go straight home, buy a license, not making that mistake again because they love the fishing. And you'll get people that wanted to not have a license on purpose, and they'll go home and buy one so they don't have to pay a fine again. So money is always filtering back in. £24 million was made, and £1.45 million grant from central government was a key area in which the money was used. So you think about those figures. 24 million quid is one of the biggest numbers they've had in recent years, this century, for licence numbers. Obviously, fluctuation and everything like that. Talk away. 24 million quid. Let's call it 20 million quid. 20 million quid is out there. A lot of that will be getting spent on your enforcement officers. There has to be an area of support going out for those people. There's a lot of things that EA do, which I'm not going to include in this, but that would rack up millions of pounds every year just in wages. Never mind materials and just business affiliations in general. Like, there's a lot of money there, but 24 million quid just from rod license sales alone. That is mental money. Absolutely mental. And I want you to tell me, what do you think of the rod license? Do you think it's fair? Do you think we should? I think we should. I don't faze me paying 35 or 40 quid a year, whatever it is. But some people just hate the idea of paying one. I know an angler who match fishes week in, week out, right? And he claims, I can only take his word for it. He claims he's never bought one in his life. And I've raised in his 60s now. And I've seen him do magazine features and all sorts of it years. So, yeah. 24 million quid. Get in comments. What would you do? You know, is there anything else? Have you got any ideas that you'd like to see sort of implemented into the, the workload of what the EA do? Is there anything that they should do that they don't do for that kind of money? Do you think that 24 million quid is, it's spent by end of year? Do you reckon that they make out, do they make any major profit from that, to help back up if there's any issues in future? I think that's a door worth leaving open for you guys to have a discussion about, because £24 million on rod licenses is, well, to be fair, let's look at it this way. If it's the biggest year of sales in a century, regardless of how much money it's made, that's a positive. More people are buying licenses, so therefore more people are aware of the sport angling. The statistics probably show there's more people coming into angling. You wouldn't just go out and buy a rod license. Like, if you needed a football license and I didn't play football, I wouldn't randomly one day just go and buy a football license. If you're buying a rod license, you're probably going fishing or you've thought about it. It means that you've probably, gone to a tackle shop to buy some gear to start fishing. That's supported a tackle shop. It means that you've probably bought some bait. That's probably supported the bait company that supports the tackle shop. And it's, it does have a really positive knock-on effect. So the £24 million at £40 a year we pay for his rod licenses, how much money do you think's gone back into tackle shops? Because £40 that's the cheap part of joining the sport of angling. Going out and buying a rod, even if you buy second-hand stuff, buying a rod and a pole, that's already been paid for by somebody at some point. But if you go to a tackle shop and you want a little starter setup, 40 quid's not going to get you much nowadays. It really, really isn't. And then let's say you start taking it serious and you start going in once a month and buying some bait. That'll rack up. And then one day you might want a new rod. Or you might your kids might turn around and say to your dad, I want a new reel for Christmas. And you go to tackle shop and get them a new one. So the 24 million quid is just a scratch, and it's just a drop in the ocean compared to the amount of money that we put back into angling. So my observation is 24 million quid is a lot of money for them to sit on when you think about the services they provide. But the good thing is there's a lot of tackle shops out there benefiting from all these newcomers, rejoiners. If sales are up on rod licenses, sales going to be up on membership books for fisheries, going to be up on tackles, going to be up on bait. It can only be a positive. But get in comments, talk away, what's your views? What do you think of it? Do you agree with it? And I don't know, what would you do differently? You never know. Someone might oversee these comments one day and think, you know what, we have thought about doing that. Let's do what he's just said. So yeah, talk away. I'm going to wrap it up there. It's tips, tackle, tactics, tantrums, and throw your toys out of pram on a Tuesday. For some reason this week, there's not been a lot going off. Andrew Cranston's joined Daiwa. I said he were leaving Preston a bit back. He's joined Daiwa. We've already touched on Steve Forster joining Census. There's been it's not a difficult time for angling, but this time of year, we're not focusing on pumping lots of different ideas out into the tackle market because, you know, we need to get to a time of year when people are going to be really busy using it. You don't want to chuck a load of stuff on shelves right now as a manufacturer when people they're not hungry for it. You know, they're not in a buying mood. When you're out and you're bagging and you're doing well and you're pleasure fishing on your river and you're catching some big barbel, that's when you want, like, right, I need some line, I need some new this, I need this, oh, I'm going to get a new rod. So this time of year is quite a quiet time for angling. But it's nice to see a lot of tackle shops starting to... the Paul Het thing, by the way. The chap Warren, the tackle shop spoke about last week, he's got his closing down sale on 35% off. He's been posting. I think Warren's actually messaged me. I have seen it, Warren. So thank you for that. They've messaged me and said thank you for the mention in the video. So if you've not already, get down to Paul Het Fishing Tackle Shop and go and support him. He's got some great deals on. It's bad that we're having to watch another tackle shop close its doors, but it's good how there's still the opportunity. Probably one day they might figure it out and work it. It's not like they've gone under. It's got another business under the tackle shop roof. So, you know, luckily he'll still be able to support himself and his family or whatever situation he's in. But get yourself down to Paul Het Fishing Tackle Shop, 35% off, plenty of deals in. I think the bait is staying the same price. I think, Warren, you said, for obvious reasons. You know, that needs paying for. Tackle might have been sat there a bit, you don't know. Get yourself down there, get a bargain, and support your local tackle shops. And tackle shops, if you see this, purchase-based raffles. A raffle ticket book is, I'm going to have to get one, £1. You can sometimes spend like massive amounts of money on one, like £1.50. Get yourself a couple of things off your shelf and raffle it off on a purchase-based raffle. If you come in and spend £10 on some bait, I'll give you a raffle ticket. Here you go. Here's your bait and your raffle ticket. Wicked. And at end of month, in 2 months' time, I'll call out a winner. And just like me winning the Fever landing net handle, one of you guys could be the winner of an absolute fishing box or a £2,000 pole or even some nice T-shirts or something. You never know. And it's free. It's completely free. You support your local tackle shop and they can afford to do this and more. So always support your local tackle dealer. And we'll leave it there. Quite a few points that we've touched on today, haven't we? We've not gone mad with it, but get in comments, send me a message like this chap has about this pike being kicked all over the floor. If you know them kids, mums, dads, you want to get one of them when they get in for doing that. That's ridiculous. And yeah, not a fan of that. Get them banned. Fisheries, tackle shops, ban them. I don't care who they are, even if they're lovely and little princes. No, ban them. Like, get them banned, get them gone. Plenty of stuff out there they can go and do this stuff in, and it's normal. So yes, I'll leave it there. Thank you all for watching. It's don't know, get messy. Let me know. I tell you what, tackle shops, get in touch with me. I said it before about if you've got anyone stealing from your shop or if you've got any footage or anyone, get in touch with me. If you've got any deals on, get in touch with me. If there's any drama related to you, if you want my support of any sort, get in touch with me. And if you've got, I don't know if you've got a bargain pole thing going off or, you know, whatever. I don't know, even if you just don't get a lot of business, like get your coffee machine turned on. Let me know a weekend you've got coming up and you want some custom and I'll dish it out there. I might even drive down myself. Like I get paid to travel doing this job. So get in comments or message me on Facebook. I get most people messaging me privately on Facebook. And if you want to be kept anonymous, I'll keep you anonymous. But if you want me to promote your fishery, promote your shop, just ask. It's completely free. I'm here to try and support and, you know, put the stilts up for you and this sport to help keep it afloat. So yeah, get at me, talk away, and I don't know, every week we'll try and do a tackle shop that I've not talked about, and we'll just pick one, and we'll just talk about what they've got on the Facebook, what offers they've got on, and we'll just try and promote it. But if you want to get in touch and let me know you've got a shop, and let me know you've got some deals on, do that as well. And I'll be happy to help out, really will. So we'll leave it there. Tips, tackle, tactics, tantrums, and throw your toys out the pram on a Tuesday. This has been all the latest and greatest angling news this week in angling. And hopefully next week there will be some more juicy gossip. But for now, that's all we've got. Thank you all for watching. See you next Tuesday.